Hello? Can anybody hear me? Hi. Can you hear me? See me? Is anybody there? I see you, Mitchell. Hi, Mitchell. Yay. Okay. Well, happy Friday, everyone. I'm Katie, and welcome to Date Night Cooking with 171 Cedar Arts. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite dishes. It's vegetarian meatballs with creamy polenta. So I'm just going to get started, and I would like to start just by going through the ingredients. So we'll just do a little show and tell. So first things first, I've got a half of a diced onion here. And then 4 cloves of garlic, minced. And some, these are veggie meat grounds. So I use for this the Impossible. There's also the Beyond Meat. And I've had a lot of luck with Light Life. It's a great brand. I also do a variety with lentils and mushrooms, but that's for another time. I have 2 Roma tomatoes, diced, and then a cup and a half of Parmesan cheese, shredded, and 2 cups of polenta. I'm personally making a little bit more tonight than the recipe calls for because I love leftovers with poached eggs in the morning. I have about 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of fresh rosemary chopped, 2 tablespoons of butter, some heavy whipping cream, a little olive oil, some salt and pepper, and then there's a time and a place to make sauce from scratch. Tonight is not that time. So a jar of pasta sauce. And then veggie stock. So I like to always have a jar of bouillon in my fridge because you can make veggie stock like that. You just need about a tablespoon, add it to water, and it goes a long way. So again, whether you're cooking along with me tonight or you're just hanging out, date night with yourself, friend, family, welcome. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So first things first, I've preheated the oven to 425 degrees. And then I'm going to start the water for my stock right now. You can use the bouillon, or if you're using a pre-made stock, I would put it in a pot and just turn on the burner. Oh, real quick, we're gonna go through our utensils. So I've got a small saute pan, a large pot over here that we're going to cook the polenta in, a lovely little pot over here that we're gonna heat up the sauce in, a baking sheet to bake the veggie meatballs, and then a bowl to mix the meatballs, our little things that are prepped that you saw, and then I'll fill you in on the utensils along the way. So to get started, go ahead and take that small saute pan, turn on the stove to a medium-high heat. We'll add about a teaspoon or less of oil to the pan. Just give it a good swirl, coat the pan. And then add your half diced onion right into that oil. We're just going to saute this with a little garlic. I do a medium-high heat. It'll take about 3 to 5 minutes. So yeah, it's so nice. I usually teach yoga and I'm so far away I can actually see people on the screen today. So hi. So again, sauteing the onion. Oven's preheating to 425. We've got our water boiling for our polenta right over here. So whenever I saute onions, I just get it to right when they become fragrant and they start to sweat and be translucent. Depending upon what your stove is, if it's gas heat or electric, what kind of pan you're using, this can take anywhere from 5 to 7 to 10 minutes. So I'll give you a little show and tell after I get these to where I want them to go. But cooking is a science, but equipment is different, so there's no complete right, perfect way. So now I'm going to add those 4 cloves garlic, right into that onion pan while it sautés. And I'm just using a little heat-resistant spatula. I have 5, 7, 10 of these. It's just nice. Okay. So while that finishes sauteing, I have my veggie grounds in my bowl right here. I'm going to go ahead and add those 2 diced Roma tomatoes right into that bowl. And this is all going together, so I'm just going to use that spatula. Put that in there. And now I'm also going to add half of this rosemary. So this is about, when you go to the store, you get the little bunches. This is 1 whole bunch, which chopped up comes to about 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons. I'm going to use half of this and add it to the veggie ground mixture. Just going to sprinkle that in. Checking on my onions and garlic over here. Oh, it's one of my favorite smells. Okay. So as that continues to saute, I'm just going to mix this together. So again, it's the veggie grounds, Roma tomatoes, and rosemary. Give this another little shake. It's almost there. And then I'm just going to take a pinch of, this is just fine sea salt, add it to my veggie ground mix. A little bit of pepper, same thing. Okay, so these, you might not be able to see, but they're getting a nice translucent color. They're beginning to sweat and they're super fragrant. So I'm going to turn off the heat on that and then add it to this veggie ground mixture. Go ahead and put that in the sink. And then mix the sauteed onions and garlic in with, again, it's half an onion diced, 4 cloves garlic, 1 package of veggie grounds, 2 tablespoons chopped rosemary, and 2 Roma tomatoes with a little bit of salt and pepper. Mixing all that together. And now I'm going to take, so this is about 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add about half, a little less than half of that to this mixture. So it'd be 3/4 of a cup. Making me do math. I'm making myself do math. Okay, so then we're going to mix all of this together. Okay, and then I'm going to give you a little close-up of what that looks like. Okay. So now I'm going to take this baking sheet I have, drizzle a little bit more oil, probably another teaspoon, but just enough to coat the bottom of it. Take a little pastry brush I have handy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, so all I did was coat the bottom of that with a little bit of olive oil. And then I have many shapes and sizes of these lovely little scoopers. They're great for making cookies and also meatballs. If you don't have one of these, just use 2 tablespoons. But we're going to take this with our veggie ground mixture and just simply scoop it out onto our sheet pan. Oh, I'm going to move this up here so you can see. Just like that. So the cheese, not only is it delicious, it helps hold everything together. So if you want to, you can also form them with your hands to make little balls. That's why these are really good, because it gives you a nice formation. Just gonna do this. So I've got about 6 so far. I just realized I'm making these like I'm making cookies, like they're gonna spread out, and they don't. So we can put this usually makes about 16 to 20, all of these on this one sheet. Okay. So I am going to get my hands a little dirty and shape these a little bit. All right, so my oven's preheated to 425. I have these little meatballs, and then I'm gonna put them in the oven. At 425. We'll set a timer for 20 minutes. Okay, and before we preheated the oven, started mixing that up, and I got the water going for the stock, so it's boiling. I'll give you a little show and tell on one of my favorite kitchen staples. Again, it's veggie bouillon. They have this in chicken, beef, veggie. What's great about it is it's a paste. So I think this is maybe $4.99 at Wegmans, and this little jar, you just add it to boiling water. You add about a tablespoon or two, and this whole jar will make, I don't want to tell you what it'll make, but it'll make a lot of stock. So instead of buying those boxes of stock, this is such a great thing to always have on hand in your fridge. So we're going to use this tonight, and I've got my water boiling. So I'm doing 6 cups of water to 2 cups of polenta. Polenta, also known as grits, is a 1 cup grit to 3 cups liquid. So I want, again, a larger amount because I want leftovers for breakfast, and that's why I'm doing 2 to 6 here tonight. So I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of this bouillon, and it's just, if you've never seen it, it's just a kind of a gooey paste. Put it into the boiling water. And then let it boil, and it'll distribute, and all of a sudden you have stock. Okay. So grab a whisk, give that a little stir, make sure that bouillon is evenly distributed. For now, leave this on high. You're going to take your polenta, pour it into the boiling stock. You can do this with water. I like to use stock, it just makes it that much more flavorful. And then whisk it in over high heat and make sure all the grains disperse. This will help future clumping. Okay, once that's whisked in, I'm going to reduce the heat to medium. This will cook fairly quickly. You can leave the lid off for now. Have your whisk handy. I usually put it on medium and whisk in about every couple of minutes so it stays nice and creamy. And then we're going to move this over. And like I said, there's a time and a place to make pasta sauce from scratch. Tonight's not one of those nights. So I'm going to actually just found this at Wegmans. I've never had it. It sounded really good. It's Grandpa's Sauce Vegetarian. It has tomatoes, what else? Bell peppers. I think it was the bell peppers that got me. A little cab sauve. Yeah. Take that, pour it into your other saucepan. Go ahead and put that on a low heat. Just let that sauce heat up while your meatballs cook and your polenta starts to come together. So right now it's at a kind of a low boil. I'm going to reduce the polenta to about a low medium, probably between a 2 and a 3. And again, giving that a nice little whisk. side. And then while this cooks, the rest of that rosemary, so there's about half left or 2 tablespoons, we're gonna put that right in. Give it another whisk. Okay, so we've got our meatballs cooking, our sauce is heating up, our polenta cooking, and now it's just a little bit of a wait game for the meatballs to cook. We've got about 14 more minutes on the timer. This is when I would make a salad. I didn't plan for one tonight, so if you're like me and you love vegetables, this is when you can throw together a salad. I am going to check on our meatballs and see how they're doing in there. So, oh, perfect. Ooh, these don't need 20 minutes. This oven is hot. Okay, I'm going to cover up the polenta. So it's about between 1 and 2. Really only takes about 10 minutes for that to cook, and then we're going to add in the butter and the cream and more cheese and some salt and pepper. So, check on the sauce. Great. Well, we've got about 5 minutes before I have anything else to show you. So does anybody want to say hi, say something to me, tell me how their week's been? Ooh, it's hot. Okay, just a few more minutes left. I'm going to turn up the sauce a little bit and tell you, if you don't already know all the awesome things 171 is doing, and I can't tell you every single thing because that would take probably 5 hours, but they are getting ready to launch into their spring session 2 quarter, and they have so many amazing classes online. I myself will be teaching some seasonal vegetarian cooking classes and actually getting into a fun Saturday brunch class, as well as weekly yoga classes. I know that there are dance classes and art classes and Tai Chi, and it's just amazing all the things that they have been able to put together with the instructors in this interesting time that we're in. I know it's a little foreign to all of us, and I'm just amazed at how we can come together and still manage to be creative and foster a sense of community and, this togetherness even while we're apart. So I'll tell you a little bit more about what I'm doing towards the end of class, but I'm going to check on my meatballs again, our meatballs if you're cooking along. And I have to admit, this is the first time I've made this meal in this kitchen. My husband and I just moved here a few months ago from Seattle, so my timing's a little off, but it's all coming together actually quicker than I thought. So that's great, because we're hungry. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Okay, those are probably 5 minutes to go time. Polenta's ready for a little leaven. So now I'm going to put in the 2 tablespoons of butter. And then a 1/2 cup of cream. You can use heavy cream, half and half, milk, or forego it. It just adds a lovely creamy texture to your polenta. So I'm going to whisk that in. I'm sorry you can't see this. You will, I promise. Okay, now I'm going to reduce this all the way to low just to keep it warm. And add in a pinch or 2 of salt and pepper. And then the rest of that cheese. So that's probably 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of cheese. Okay, again, keeping that on low. That's done for now. Covering it up to keep it warm. Sauce is simmering. We're at about 12 minutes on the meatballs, and I think with this stove and this oven, it's only going to take about 15. So we're about to be done. Not done, but yeah, we're about to be done. Everything I need. Over there. I'm gonna move some stuff around so I can show you how this all comes together in just a moment. Okay, oh, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out because they're nice and brown. You can let them go for a few more minutes. The olive oil will get them nice and crispy on the bottom, and they'll get a nice crisp on top, but this is perfect for me. So to put this all together, we're going to take your bowl plate bowl. We'll spoon some of this creamy polenta into the bottom of the bowl. So I'll just give you a little close-up of that. So again, it's just stock, grits, cheese, butter, rosemary, salt and pepper, and cream right there. We will spoon some sauce right on top of that. And then add some meatballs. Right on top of that. And sprinkle with some Parmesan cheese. If you can get it open. Okay, so that came together very quickly. So again, this is veggie meatballs with creamy rosemary polenta. I have some sauce. I'll let you know how it is. It's the first time I'm trying it with some shredded Parmesan on top. And it is 7:30, perfect because I'm hungry. Again, I'm Katie. This was Date Night Cooking with 171 Cedar Arts, and I will be here tomorrow teaching yoga at 9:15, and then next week kicks off spring session 2, and I'll be doing lunch break yoga next week and some more chakra balancing yoga classes and some awesome vegetarian cooking classes. So if you haven't checked out the things that 171 is doing, please do. And happy Friday and bon appetit.